Now, this is a very popular question I've gotten a lot, both in comments, messages, DMs, even from friends, and that is, what do I do if my car doesn't qualify for Uber and Lyft? If, let's say, you want to drive for Uber and Lyft, but for whatever reason your car doesn't qualify, what can you do? Mainly, there's three different options if you want me to be honest. One, check with both Uber and Lyft. Huge pro tip, like I've said in numerous videos, make sure you sign up with both apps. As weird as it sounds, some cars, for whatever reason, might qualify for Uber, but not for Lyft, and vice versa. So one, make sure you check with both apps. The second, going more specific into this video, is consider doing delivery driving. So if let's say you have a car, for example, I was talking to one of my friends and said, hey Mark, my car's in great condition, but it's a two-door. And as a result, Uber and Lyft says I can't use that two-door vehicle to drive for them. I said, hey, why not do Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, any other delivery service? There's a lot of them. And of course, there are some pros and cons to delivery driving. I know rideshare driving versus delivery driving is a huge thing. I have a link listed below in the description to a video I did where I compared Uber to Uber Eats, but that's a great option. As opposed to having to go out and rent another car, which I'm going to get into, or having to maybe even consider buying another car, whatever the case is, you can still have your own car and just do delivery driving instead. Now going to number three, the third thing you can do that I briefly just touched upon is renting a vehicle. Now, I've done a bunch of videos about renting a vehicle for both Uber and Lyft. Each one of them has their different programs. Lyft has Express Drive, for example. You can rent one through different partners through Uber. There's a lot of options out there. I even just did a video about renting a Tesla in LA and how some Tesla drivers are making insane money renting a Tesla. And in some cases, that extra money you're going to spend renting a Tesla might make you significantly more money in the long run. Now, of course, I know this is frustrating. Because let's say if you have, I'm just making this up, a $300 car payment a month. You bought a car, your loan is $300 a month. Well, for most rental programs through Uber and Lyft, depends on the area, depends on a lot of different factors, you're probably looking at about the same amount, but per week. So you're looking at anywhere from between $200 and $300, depends. I like to give you the upper edge just to make it, worst case scenario. But you're looking at $200 to $300 a week you're going to have to spend to rent a car to drive for Uber and Lyft. This is something you have to weigh out because, for example, let's say you have a car and again, you're spending $300 a month just to own your own vehicle, but that doesn't qualify. So then you're going to rent a vehicle through Lyft and Uber and you're spending, let's say, $250 a week, which comes out to be, let's say, $1,000 a month to rent that vehicle, but you're driving enough where, let's say, you're making $800 or $900 a week. Well, of course, that's great profit. Boom, you have nothing to worry about. However, on the other end, if your goal is just to drive for Uber and Lyft casually, do it once in a while, as you can imagine, renting is not the best way to go, and I highly suggest not to do that because when you rent a vehicle, you are always starting in the red. Let's say you get a great deal and it's only $200 a week to rent a car through Uber and Lyft. Well, you're still starting negative $200, and even if you make, let's say, $199 a week, you're technically making or losing $1. And that doesn't even count the time that you're spending while doing rideshare driving. But overall, those are your best options in general when it comes to Uber and Lyft. One, check both apps. Again, you'd be surprised. Some cars might qualify or not for either one. The second, consider doing delivery driving. And third, which is pretty much the biggest backup option of them all, is rent a car. And yes, as you can imagine, even if you own your own vehicle, you can still rent a car on top of that.